Hello and welcome. My name is BJ and Sarah, and I'm the tech service rep for IATD aerosol adhesives. As you can see, 3M has a wide variety of aerosol adhesives. Knowing the difference between these products and understanding your customer's application will allow you to pick the right adhesive and be able to show 3M's advantages and benefits. Today I'd like to show a few quick demonstrations that are pretty simple and pretty impressive that you can show to end users as well as distributors. Remember, before demoing any aerosols, always have protective eyewear and spray only in well-ventilated areas. Let's begin with the Super 77 demo. What you'll need is a can of 77, a couple pieces of copy paper, and a stapler. What we're going to try to do is show the advantages of an aerosol adhesive over mechanical fasteners. First, we'll start by overlapping a piece of paper and using the stapler. Remember, more staples the better. As you can see, it definitely joined the two pieces of paper, but it's pretty ugly. Next, let's use the 77. Again, a couple inches overlap. When using 77, always remember to shake the can and to do a test spray off the substrates you'll be spraying first to make sure you've got a nice spray pattern. Just lightly spray, and with Super 77 you can almost instantly make the bond. Simply fold it over and you can pick up your paper. But if you didn't get it straight, with 77 you can reposition the bond. You cannot do that with the staples. Now let's speak of the strength. Staples, not very strong, as you can see. Super 77, very strong bond. Matter of fact, it rips and not where it was joined. So what are the advantages of Super 77? Well, obviously a much better looking bond, a more uniform, stronger bond, and repositionable. For our next demonstration, I'd like to demonstrate High Strength 90. This demonstration is going to show the speed and strength of High Strength 90. You'll need two 12-inch particle boards for this demonstration, a can of 90, and a J roller. You always want to test the spray pattern. Overlap about a ½ inch each pass. As you can see, I'm moving at about a foot per second at a spray distance of about 4 to 6 inches. What I want to show you here is that High Strength 90 is a lace spray adhesive that has a variable actuator. As you can see, there's 3 different settings: low, medium, and high. What those are supposed to correspond to roughly is the low an inch pattern, the medium 2 inches, and the high about 3 inches. High Strength 90 needs an open time of at least about 1 minute. One way you can tell if you're there or not is a simple knuckle test. In doing a knuckle test, all you need to do is touch somewhere in the pattern. If the adhesive transfers to your finger, it's too wet. The solvents need to evaporate off a little bit more. What you want is a tacky feeling, but no adhesive transfer. Now we're ready to make the bond. Simply line it up, push down, and the more contact, the better. 90 is a two-surface adhesive, so you do need to spray both surfaces. That speaks to the speed. And now we'll speak to High Strength 90's strength. Ouch. So what did we learn here about High Strength 90? No unsightly screws or nails. No clamping was necessary. Very strong, uniform bond. Very fast, very strong. Speaking of strong aerosol adhesives, I'd like to mention two other products. First, I'd like to speak of High-Tech 76. The main things to think of that are different than High Strength 90 are a much tackier adhesive that gives you a longer open time and the ability to make a one-surface bond. Rubber and Vinyl 80 is by far our strongest aerosol adhesive. It has the highest heat resistance, and it has plasticizer resistance. Here's a simple demo that you could put together ahead of time that shows some of 80's other unique abilities. It's very strong, we talked about that, but it has the ability to bond rubber, vinyl, and leather. These are very difficult surfaces for a lot of adhesives because they plasticize and soften the adhesive. Let's move on now to a demonstration, Foam Fastest 74 Orange. This demonstration, you need a can of 74, a piece of rubber, and a magic marker. We have two Foam Fast 74 products. As I mentioned, I'm going to demo with Foam Fast Orange. We also have a clear, which you can imagine would be very useful if you're bonding together some light fabrics or such. So first thing we're going to want to do, again, 74 is a lace spray, just like 90. Always spray ahead of time, see what your pattern's going to look like. And then spray, leaving a couple inches at the end, unsprayed, and mark with a marker. That's not a whole lot of adhesive. Doesn't take much. In this case, more is not better. It's just going to increase the dry time you'll need. Close the bond and put some pressure down. 74 is recommended for two surface application. As you can see, we have some adhesion where there was just one surface. But if you want the foam to fail, which you can pretty much see here right at our line, we have a very strong foam bonder. One thing I'd like you to know is not all foam is created equal. There are three significantly different kinds of foam, and you need to be aware of them. This that I just used is a urethane foam, or you'll see similar soft foams like this that may be latex. But there's also a very different kind of foam called polystyrene. An example of that would be Dow styrofoam. Comes in various colors or densities, but as you can see, this here is very damaged and cavitated, and most of your aerosols, the solvents in there, will destroy the foam. What I want to talk to you about is our product, our only product that I would recommend for polystyrene foam, and that is Insulation 78. Insulation 78. It's the only adhesive that we suggest for bonding polystyrene foam. In construction, quite often they use caulking tubes to bond polystyrene to block walls or to the wood. And you should know that 1 can of 78 equals 13 tubes of caulk. The third kind of foam that I want to talk about is a polyolefin foam. Quite different from the first two we talked about. When you think of latex or urethane foam, 74. When we think of polystyrene foam, let's remember Insulation 78. And when we're talking polyolefin foams, we have three possible options: High Strength 90, High-Tech 76, and Blue 72. This demonstration is kind of fun. We're going to use Blue 72. You'll need a polyethylene Ziploc bag with a hole cut in it, and save the hole. And then just another piece of polyethylene sheeting or film, cut larger than the hole. What we're going to do, again, this is a lace spray. Always spray out to the side. Now we're going to want to put the circle back over here so that we don't get adhesion to the back of the bag when we patch it. It's very fast. Set it down, close it, and you've got a good bond to polyethylene, which not a lot of adhesives bond very well to. We're going to show you just how well this bonds and seals. Be careful where you ever do a demonstration like this. Close the bag. Pretty impressive. Another characteristic of 72 that's very impressive is it's repositionable. It's very aggressive repositionable, and we have a less aggressive repositionable adhesive in repositionable 75. Got a quick demonstration you can do very easily. You don't even probably need to have anything along other than the can. But in this case, I have a few substrates. We have metal, wood, and fabrics. What I want to show you is a light spray and almost instantly I put down, and a lot of times what this is used for is templates. So it could be used on metal, wood, or fabrics. And as you can tell, it can be used over and over and over. And there you have it. So remember, 3M has a whole line of aerosol adhesives that bond a wide variety of substrates with speed, convenience, and they're easily demonstratable. So go out and sell 3M aerosol adhesives.